So you're making a ton of mistakes as a self-taught developer? You reached the right video. Let me explain. This video was brought to you by DigiLink Academy, your #1 source to learning programming fast and get to that 6-figure salary you desire. Our 30-day project course includes our JavaScript front-end projects, our Python back-end projects, our SQL database projects, and much, much more. So go ahead and click the link below to our free 7-step guide so that you can start reaching your programming goals today. I'll see you guys in the course. So let's get a couple of quick points out of the way before I really get into the details of the video and really just get to you guys who are trying to be self-taught developers and the mistakes you're making. Guys, don't be that typical coding monkey style self-taught developer. This is the person who just all in on learning how to code regardless of any job prospects, solving problems or anything. You just HTML code, and that's the only thing you're talking about. That's the only thing you really value. And that's okay if you're doing this as a hobby, but all of us are trying to find a job as a developer. That's the whole reason we taught ourselves how to code. We're trying to get to having that career faster without having to go to traditional way of college or a certification or a boot camp or something like that. So at the end of the day, guys, we have to make sure we don't make these mistakes as a self-taught developer to put us ahead of the competition and put us where we need to be. But before I get started with all the other details, guys, do me a favor. Tell me a little bit more about yourself and your journey as a self-taught developer, what you're struggling with, what are some of the other mistakes that you're making. Comment below. Let's start a conversation. I want to make sure I give you guys an opportunity to tell me more about yourself, and then we can have a more detailed conversation. I can help you guys out more if I can know your struggles, put you in position to win. So comment below. That being said, guys, I made some points here. I want to make sure I cover these specifically. And again, guys, with the whole self-taught developer thing, it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. I don't want to come across as being negative. I just want to make sure you guys are aware what you're up against and how you're going to present yourself to be valuable. Because at the end of the day, you do not want to be that person who's strolling into an interview, not prepared, don't have anything that you need to stand out from the other competition. You're going to let college or coding boot camps or even people who with certification just pass you, even though you may be a better fit for the job. You're just coming in with that same self-taught development mindset, code, and not thinking about any other factors. And I want to talk about some of those factors here today, guys. Number one, can't showcase your skills to your network. And two things there: showcase your skills and your network. You probably haven't done any of those two things. You guys may be wondering, hey Rod, I don't want to go to all these events and smooths and stuff like that. I never get any jobs from that. And you're right to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, you have to know the lay of the land of your industry, your local job market, who's the movers and shakers, who's the companies, and how do you fit in that dynamic? Can you actually help these people out? Do you know what they need? All that stuff. You can find that out by networking. It don't have to take a lot, just a little bit. But at the end of the day, when you're networking, you have to showcase your skills and be able to let them know, communicate to them, hey, how can I help your company? You have this problem. I solved this problem. I've seen this problem in the past and I solved it this way with my code. You got to be able to communicate that to them. If you don't do that, somebody else will, and you won't get the job. You'll be amazed that people that don't have the traditional 4-year degree or 4-year coding boot camp or all these fancy certification, it comes down to fit. Do I trust that you can get the job done? But I can't take a chance on you if you haven't showcased that to me. Yeah, I can. You're talking good about the technology. I see, you know, all the frameworks, library and all that stuff, but I cannot take your word at face value. I need other things that can show me your value and that you've done something similar to this in the past. My other point there, I want to make my number 2 point, gonna go into detail of that. Number 2 is no real world projects. And before you get on me, I'm gonna tell you, hey, I understand as a self-taught developer, you don't know what the real world project looks like. You're right. But you can do some networking. You can do some detailed analysis on the actual job market that's going to allow you to find out what these real world projects are. Or better yet, you can get my 7-step guide below. It's free, guys. We go over some of these real world projects that's going to allow you to have the advantage over your competition. These are some of the projects you can even, as you doing your networking events, you can talk about, hey, what are you guys doing for onboarding? What are you guys doing for offboarding? You got some slow running systems. Hey, you want to upgrade this? Oh, that legacy code, that .NET framework need to be updated. Hey, your custom modules need to be performing through integrate that data from SQL to my front-end application. All of that is stuff that you can get a huge advantage over if you have that level of knowledge of those processes and projects, the real world projects, over somebody who had a college degree, a boot camp, all these certifications. If I had somebody, put myself in the position of the employer, if I had a developer basically telling me, hey, you got the problem onboarding, offboarding, all this other stuff. Hey, I've done that before. This is how I can do this for you. And I basically can do this for you end to end. What do you think that person gonna do next? When can you start? They're not gonna be looking at your resume. They're gonna confirm it though. Then they got your portfolio. They're not gonna be asking you all these questions about the coding. What they do now, the coding interview, and you got to go through all of these different tests and all this stuff. No, show me if you done this. I want to see proof of it. Just to confirm it. Come work for me. That's gonna be the discussion instead of you having to prove yourself, go through 18 interviews, and do all this stuff, guys. So at the end of the day, guys. Number 3, this is and this is going to be contradictory a little bit, but again, go check out my 7-step guide. We're going to get into those projects. It starts and ends with the projects, guys. And if you already checked out my 7-step guide already, go grab the premium 30-day developer course. It's going to really put things in perspective for you, get the right projects in front of you, and also show you how to showcase your skills and give you the shortcut on how to actually get a job and really put yourself in a position as a self-taught developer, because I want you guys to succeed. Definitely want to do that. And number 3, no formal education, college or certifications. And listen to me on this one, guys. Not to say it's required to get a job, but if an employer sees somebody who's self-taught with the same level of skills, experience, or as an aspiring developer want to get started versus a college degree or somebody from coding boot camp, then we're talking about same person, same personality, everything equal. They're probably going to go with that 4-year degree only from a traditional perspective. They feel like, hey, that formal education gave that particular person the edge over that. And yes, that's a real thing. And unfortunately, the only thing you can do to put yourself in a position is to be able to communicate more of the processes, how you can help solve problems, all that stuff on the resume and showcasing your skills and all the stuff that we talk about in our previous point. If it's equal, they're gonna always, most of the time, pick the person with the most education. And again, this is hypothetical. I'm pretty sure in the real world, there's going to be differences, personality, different projects, different experience level. This person can come on, this person want to work remote, all those different factors. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you give yourself the best opportunity to get these jobs, guys. But at the end of the day, if you haven't already, guys, comment below. Tell me about your situation. And also check out the goodies in the description box, my 7-step guide, and also go ahead and check out my 30-day Launchpad course, guys. Links below to all that. And I'll do you an extra favor. I'll put a link here on the screen, and I'll see you guys in the next video.